Most people think they're good at empathy. We like to believe we understand others, that we're kind, that we care, but here's what usually happens. We only care when it's familiar, when it's easy to relate, when the person in pain fits a version of suffering we've seen before, or we've felt ourselves. That's selective empathy. You don't choose it on purpose. It's just how our brain works. It picks and chooses. It opens your heart to one person's pain while completely skipping over another's. And it happens fast. So fast that you don't even realize you're doing it. You'll hear a friend is going through a breakup and your whole body softens. You get it. You've been there. But your colleague says they're feeling lost in their marriage, and you don't feel anything. Maybe because you don't relate to this person or this suffering yet. You might feel deep empathy for someone crying over their dog, but you'll brush off a news story about animal cruelty in a slaughterhouse. You'll care about the coworker who's friendly and familiar, but get irritated at another who flakes out, even if they're struggling in the same way. It's not only about who we like, it's also about who we understand and who we don't. Sometimes, the pain we relate to the most is the one we're still carrying. That's why we jump to protect certain people. They remind us of younger versions of ourselves, the version that didn't get enough care. Or they reflect the kind of pain we have seen in the past around us, which we understand. Other times, we pull away from pain that makes us uncomfortable. Someone who cries too easily, someone who shuts down. It's not that we don't care, we just don't know how to process what they're showing us. So instead of leaning in, we turn away. Most people think empathy is just a trait, something you're either born with or not, but it's actually something you learn. If you were told not to cry, you might feel awkward when someone else gets emotional. You might not know how to respond. This quiet bias can go even deeper in families. Your parents might have been more patient with your brother's sadness, but hard on you for being too emotional. Not because they care less, but because they've decided which kid is supposed to be strong. That label gets set early, and empathy starts following the label instead of the person. Also, if you're still watching, thank you. We're a small channel and your subscribers help us more than you know. Just hit the button and the bell. It means a lot. Now, the one person we forgot to include here? Ourselves. You'll be gentle with a friend who messes up. You'll reassure them. Tell them they're human. Tell them it's okay. But when you make a mistake, you go silent. You criticize yourself. You assume it means something's wrong with you. You hold yourself to a standard that no one else has to meet. That gap between how you treat others and how you treat yourself is still selective empathy. When you're running low, from work, emotions, or just life, your brain stops considering who deserves empathy. It judges whether you even have it to give. And if you don't, you pull back. You might even feel like you've already earned a break. You listened to one friend cry, stayed calm through someone else's crisis, so when the next person shows up, you're done. You've ticked your empathy box for the day. That's called moral licensing. Selective empathy quietly decides who gets your softness and who gets your distance. So, when someone's pain is too messy, too unfamiliar, or too hard to understand, your empathy doesn't expand. It disappears. But this isn't something you can fix overnight. Most of the time, these decisions happen too fast. You don't sit and weigh who deserves empathy. Your brain just decides. And by the time you notice, the moment has already passed. That's why the goal isn't to be endlessly empathetic with everyone all the time. That's not realistic. You'll get overwhelmed. And the truth is, you don't need to stretch yourself everywhere. You just need to slow down in the places that matter most. Start where it counts, with yourself, with your partner, with your kids, your friends, your family, the people you see every day, the people who live with the tone of your voice, the words you choose, the way you respond when things go wrong. Ask yourself, when someone close to you messes up, do you treat their mistake like a moment or like a flaw? When they say something you don't agree with, do you listen or do you judge? And when you fall short, do you give yourself the same kindness you give your best friend? You don't need to pause every time you feel something. Just notice the patterns. The people you snap at faster or the ones you defend without question. You can start asking why some people, some voices, some kinds of pain never even get a chance. You can start noticing where your empathy shuts down and whether that's really who you want to be. You can soften your response without letting go of your boundaries. You can listen without agreeing. You can care without losing yourself in someone else's mess. And most of all, you can be fair to yourself. You've probably gone your whole life giving patience to people who didn't return it, giving comfort that you never learned to give yourself. So maybe this is the part where you ask, what would it sound like if I spoke to myself the way I speak to the people I love? Not with pity, just with kindness, with honesty, with space to be human. That's what real empathy looks like. Not perfect, not endless, just intentional. You won't get it right every time. You'll still have moments where you shut down, where you miss something important, where you forget to be soft. But if you can pause in one of those moments, if you can catch just one, that's enough. That's the shift. That's where empathy changes from something reactive to something real. And that's where it stops being selective and starts becoming yours. That's it from the Soul State Studio. If your brain's still chewing on this, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. We've got more where that came from, and you'll be helping a small channel grow.